Hi everybody, it's Kathy from Huckleberry Herbs and Art, and welcome to my channel. Thanks for checking out my video. I have the Gina K Designs background stamp, and I wanted to sort of challenge myself. I love this stamp. It makes beautiful snowflake backgrounds, and I wanted to play with it, but I also wanted to use up scraps and things. I had piles of leftover poinsettias and all kinds of things from previous projects, so I didn't want to cause myself a lot of work, and I wanted to make a whole bunch of different cards fairly quickly. So this is going to be the base for everything that I'm going to show you. And if you're interested, HuckleberryHerbs.com. I have a lot of these items in the store. I'm going to start with a simple card. So this one, I think this was a Hero Arts stamp from years ago, and that sentiment is just put on a little metallic paper. This is white cardstock with a little metallic matting going on. I had some of this pretty foiled type paper, and then there's metallic paper here, and this is vellum. I actually stamped the background onto vellum with a purplish, but when you flipped it over, it had this more pinkish mauve tone to it, and I liked that better. So I just put some of my leftover poinsettias from years past on vellum and embossed in silver from Heartfelt Creations poinsettia collection, and a few sequins here with some pink tones in them, and that's it. Just a nice simple card. I actually had piles of stuff. I don't know about you, but you probably do. If you are like me, have the snowflakes from the dollar store with all the sparkles on them. So for this one, I used some of those on a few of them, and I used some of the Heartfelt Creations. I think it came from the Merry Bright paper, which is down here, and I do still have that collection in the store. This was just white embossing powder with the Gina K snowflake background, and it looked so beautiful on it. I almost didn't want to cover it up, but I just stuck a nice big snowflake, and I used the die cut, which I embossed and sparkled Silent Night from the Silent Night scroll, and I do have those in the store as well. Sorry to keep bugging you about the store. You know how it is when you're trying to run a little business, but I'm also trying to make Christmas cards and share with my friends, and I liked the pink one, and I had to do a blue one. So I had a lot of fun with this because I got to take out my Distress Oxide inks, and I did not want a flat blue. I wanted it to look as though it was like in the sky with a little bit of foggy cloud, and I embossed the snowflakes again in white over it. Just again stuck one of those inexpensive snowflakes here. And for this Merry Christmas with the bow and the pretty holly and the berries, I used the Silent Night scroll stamp, and then I die cut it from the dies, and I did it in a lovely Lagoon Wow embossing powder. And then it didn't have a background, and it was getting lost because I was trying to keep this all blue and white. So I just put it on a piece of white cardstock, and then I fussy cut around the sentiment, and I actually really liked the way that it came out. So then some dark blue or navy blue paper and some metallic paper, and there's a blue version. I also had some of my Distress Oxide examples on watercolor paper, and I thought, oh, let me see what happens when I emboss on that and put the white snowflakes. And that has a little bit of these sagey greens and grays and all kinds of colors mixed in. Very interesting. It looks really cool with the snowflakes on top of it. And then I did stamp and cut out the Merry Christmas and embossed it in some bluish aqua turquoise embossing powder. And I used, this is is it Ariel from Heartfelt Creations? That's an old one. And then one of the poinsettias, and I just put a little triple triad of pearls in the center, and I had this ballerina left over. You know, you just end up with all these little odds and ends, and I was like, I want to use some of these. I want to make some cards fairly quickly, and I just want to have fun with the background stamp and do a bunch of things. And then this is very sort of vintagey, and I thought this would make a decent card for a mail. I used one of the red snowflakes. It may be overkill here, you'll have to tell me. I loved this plaid paper. This one I think is from the Oh Holy Nights from Heartfelt, and I put the snowflakes on there, embossed them in red sparkle, and I used that same Merry Christmas, except this time I just embossed black right over it, and I just left it. You can see the snowflakes through it, you can see the plaid through it, but I think it came out okay. Hopefully it's not too filled up for the eye. Black cardstock, and I put it on some ivory paper. And then I really like how this one came out. This is done in all grays and whites and silvers. Another one of those Silent Nights. Some textured scrap I had laying around. And I loved putting the Gina K stamp on white cardstock and embossing it in silver. That was really fun watching that come forward. And I had a leftover snowflake from Heartfelt's Snowflake from a year ago, I think. I think that was about a year. That did Celebrate the Seasons. I'm pretty sure that's the collection it came from. So I just sort of put it on the edge there to keep it somewhat off-centered. And I really like how that one came out. So by digging out all of those scraps and just getting busy with things I already had set up and little pieces left over and a few inexpensive things from the dollar store, I ended up with a whole bunch, and I got to play with that snowflake background stamp, which I really love. This is a good one. This is not just for Christmas. This will get you right through the winter. Okay, well, thank you so much for stopping by. Don't forget to subscribe and give me a thumbs up if you like this. That helps the channel out so much. I appreciate all you coming by and checking out my work, and stop on over my store if you'd like some of these things that you saw. This is Kathy from HuckleberryHerbs and Art. Till next time, God bless.